Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off talking about Game Boy emulation on the iPhone and iPad with SameBoy, and SameBoy has just hit the App Store. So the developer of this one says after a long wait, SameBoy for iOS is finally available on the App Store. Version 0.16.4 for iOS introduces controller support, interface themes, and various UI improvements. It's worth pointing out the developer also says some people are having trouble using the import ROM files option under library if they have other emulators installed. This problem will be fixed soon. Meanwhile, you can long press the ROM in the Files app, tap Share, and then SameBoy to import it. What a crazy problem to have multiple emulators installed on iOS. SameBoy is not 100% free and it's not open source. If you are looking for a free and open source Game Boy emulator, you can check out Delta or even RetroArch. And speaking about RetroArch, next up we're talking about RetroArch on iOS, and RetroArch just got a brand new update. So Libretro flat out says, big update on the App Store. They fixed PSP scanning, fixed HDR screenshots, fixed NetPlay. And they've added in a whole bunch of different cores here, including Melon DS for Nintendo DS. If you are curious as to what core means what, they've listed it out right on the App Store. I'll drop a link to the page in the description below and feel free to check it out. Moving on, and we're quickly talking about Xbox emulation on PC with Xemu or Xemu, or subscribe to Mr. Sujano, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And Xemu got a nice small update. So at the time of filming, version 0.7.122 is the latest update, and in this update it fixes the fog in Halo. So here's the example of the issue that was occurring. It occurs on the Backwash DLC multiplayer map. And here's what it looks like afterwards, where you can actually see what's going on. And after seeing these screenshots, I kind of want to play Halo now. Next up, we're talking about the upcoming MIG-Switch flashcart rival, the UnlockSwitch, and we've got an update. So they share a quick reminder before the presentation of the UnlockSwitch first final version on X, scheduled for next weekend, hopefully. The official case will be transparent. They will share the 3D files, and there is a new PCB design. The switch on-off feature is present on the case. This is a big one. No more cartridge ejection manipulation. Their solution comes with its programmer on a USB Type-C port. File conversion directly with the UnlockSwitch programmer software. No code will be included with the hardware. The end customer will flash the UnlockSwitch themselves. An additional option will be revealed, and a new micro SD reader. Interestingly here, they hosted a poll to determine the prices of this thing, and the results are completely not surprising. Everybody chose the cheapest option, priced at $29.90 USD. And apparently that will be the final price of this. The verdict is still out there as to whether or not the UnlockSwitch is 100% real or 100% fake. The MIG-Switch team says this is fake. The UnlockSwitch obviously says this is real. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Do you think the UnlockSwitch is going to turn out to be real? Next up is a quick update for something we talked about yesterday, and that's Infuse, the Zeebo emulator. And Video Game Esoterica just put out a brand new detailed video on one of the most important games in that collection, arguably, and that's Double Dragon. I'll drop a link to this video in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. He goes into great detail about this game and why it's so rare and important. Next up, we're talking about IGN, and today IGN had a massive announcement. They've acquired the Gamer Network family of digital brands. And this includes Eurogamer, GI, VG247, Rock Paper Shotgun, and even more. And they say the business also holds shares in Outside Xbox, Digital Foundry, and Hookshot, which has Nintendo Life, Push Square, Pure Xbox, and Time Extension. So in my opinion, in the future, if you're looking for information about video games online, chances are the information will be somehow connected to IGN. It's almost as if they're a massive conglomerate. To be honest with you, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't concerned about this. I mean, beforehand, arguably IGN had a whole ton of power. And after this purchase, arguably IGN has even more power. They could potentially shape or create any narrative they wanted to in the video games industry. So with all of that being said, in my biased opinion, this stresses the importance of independent news channels, stuff like this channel here, Mr. Sujano, or stuff like Gaming on Linux. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Next up, we're talking about the arguably highly anticipated open world life simulator, Life by You. And this game was set to be in early access very soon, but has been delayed. So they say right here in their announcement, after much consideration, we regret to announce that we have decided to retract Life by You's early access release date, previously set for June 4th. Now, the rest of the announcement does not sound good for this game. So aside from saying additional development is needed, they don't even give a brand new window. They say, while we would have preferred to commit to a new release window, we believe it's more prudent to hold off while we plan ahead, rather than committing to a new date we cannot be certain to meet. While I'm hoping for the best here, the message I'm getting out of the announcement is not good. I'm interpreting it as we may never see this game. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. Next up, we've got a quick announcement from Intel, and Intel has announced that the Lunar Lake processors will be arriving Q3 of this year. They say that Lunar Lake will power more than 80 new laptop designs across more than 20 OE manufacturers, delivering AI performance at a global scale for Copilot Plus PCs. We'll talk about Copilot Plus in just a second. So from my understanding, there's going to be a pretty big performance bump when compared with the existing Meteor Lake processors. I'm seeing about a 50% increase in GPU alone. And that takes me to the next topic, Copilot Plus. Now, Lunar Lake will support Copilot Plus, and so does the brand new Snapdragon X Elite. Now, from my understanding, Windows 11 will have a recall feature for CPUs that are compatible with Copilot Plus. And that right now is exclusive to the Snapdragon X Elite and X Plus because they're over 40 TOPS. TOPS stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Tera Operations per Second. For those of you wanting to learn more about this new Windows recall feature, I'll drop a link to this Ars Technica article in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. It's a brand new feature that takes images of your active screen every few seconds so you can recall it at any point in time. Obviously, recall is going to require a lot of processing power, and obviously there are privacy concerns with recall. Microsoft says that the recall index remains local and private on device, encrypted in a way that's linked to a particular user's account. Recall screenshots are only linked to a specific user profile, and Recall does not share them with other users, make them available for Microsoft to view, or use them in targeting advertisements. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not excited at all about Recall, and it's one of the many reasons I'm a big fan of Linux and why I continue to use Linux as my main OS. But next up, we're talking about ROMHacking.net, and if you're into music, you might be very interested in this. ROMHacking has just launched their ROMHacking music playlist. So the playlist on YouTube is over 4.5 hours long. There's 100 songs here, and they're broken down by individual song and also by category. There's calming, groovy, upbeat, and rocking. I'll drop a link to this in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. And speaking about YouTube, there's a brand new trailer up for the brand new OneXPlayer X1 Mini. It's going to be powered by an AMD Ryzen 7 8840U, and I'll drop a link to the trailer in the description below. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of information just yet about the release date nor the final price of this, but the Indiegogo currently has a mailing list where you can get 30% off. And last up here, we're talking about Nintendo Switch emulation with Ryujinx. And there's a brand new screenshot of something that's currently a work in progress but shaping up nicely. So zooming in on Isaac's image, and there's a couple of telltale things here some people may be extremely excited about. The first thing, this is not Windows. The second thing is at the bottom of this image beside GPU, and we can see Apple and also Metal. Yes, it's using the Metal backend. Now, unfortunately, I've got no release date for it just yet, and you know we don't rush developers. Let's see what happens here, and let's see how this shapes up. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.